I missed 3 weeks of church, and this is what happened. Hey, y'all, welcome to Rooted and Real, where you'll get real life rooted in the Word of God. I did. I missed 3 weeks of church, y'all. Believe it or not, I sure did. I wanted to share with you my experience and where my mind started going after missing 3 weeks of church. My reasons are legitimate. The first weekend, I drove to Florida to see my grandson who had just been born. The second weekend, my granddaughter was born. The third weekend, not so legitimate. It was the time change and I was exhausted. That one is definitely on me. I could have went, but I was lazy and I was tired and I let the enemy get in my head and say, "Oh, just relax. You've had a long weekend. You need to go see your granddaughter today." I let the enemy get in my head and pull me away from church. "Oh, you're tired. You've had 2 long weeks. Just relax. The time change kicked your butt. Let's just sit down and chill for a bit." And I did. That's what I did. Missing that first and second week, even though they were legitimate reasons, grandchildren being born, gotta be there. Definitely wanted to be there, right? But it made that third week so much easier to skip. I felt bad about it. I felt guilty, but I had already missed those 2 weeks. What was one more week? Nobody at church misses me anyways. What is the point? It's not like they'll notice. God understands. You've had a rough time lately. You've been driving, you've been at the hospital all weekend. It's a lot. Was it a lot? It was. But I could have went. I could have went last week, but I chose not to. And that third week, the enemy crept into my head even more. I didn't notice that it was the enemy until today when I was at church. The thought process that went through my head this week was there's so many things that are unorganized, so many things that you just dislike about the church. So maybe you should try a new church. Also, we want our family to go to church with us. And we're thinking, okay, because of these things that we're not too keen on in our church, maybe inviting the rest of the family, my husband's side of the family, we should try different churches, try something in between everybody's house, something a little bit more convenient, a big church that has lots of things to do, lots of events. The music is fantastic, everything is on point. Let's try that church. I don't know what the preaching is like, mind you, don't have a clue. When I went to church, I realized that my thought process was not a great one and that it was the enemy in my head. The enemy had made me convinced I didn't need to go to church the previous week. And then throughout this whole week, leading up until Sunday, is trying to convince me to church hop. There's got to be something better. Your church is not good enough because this, and this. When I was at church, immediately I knew where the thoughts had come from. Everyone was so friendly, welcoming me back, asking how my grandchildren were, asking about the family, just in general, a great welcome. And it was so nice to know that these people know us. They've been praying for us, they've been praying for our grandkids, and they're glad to see us. When I had been thinking, nobody will even miss us, it doesn't matter. Y'all, I've been going to this church, I think about 3 years now. Why would I just up and abandon? these people and this family that I have been becoming a part of, because that's what the enemy wants, right? He doesn't want me to have a home church and a home family and somewhere where I feel welcome and I know people. He's trying to convince me to go to a church that is big and that no one will know me. No one will get to know our family and nobody will care. So if we don't show up, it really won't matter because it's not the type of church that has a close knit family. Big churches, people get lost in the mix. And I was having the enemy in my head trying to tell me that those kind of churches are better because they have bands and they have great music. Their worship is on point. They have all of these events and food trucks and just all these things that they do for the community. Go be a part of something that's already established. Now, my church is established. Don't get me wrong. While I'm at church and I'm listening to my preacher, I'm thinking, the word is always solid here. I come for this preaching. That's why I come here. I don't need all of the bells and whistles when I have the word of God being preached in such a good, solid biblical way. I don't need to venture outside of that. And why go find something else? In my extended family, on my side and my husband's side, nobody else has a home church that's like within our direct extended family. They used to, they changed a few times, and then now it's just at the point where nobody has a home church that they go to regularly, but we do. So we need to invite them to our home church where we go, where people know us, where we feel comfortable. Invite the family, invite everyone, and grow the church. Don't go find somewhere else. Bring people in to that church. Bring people in that can help in some of the areas that may be lacking. And I know every single church is lacking in something. But if we bring more people in to this family, bring them into the fold, we can incorporate their gifts into our church. And I'm sitting there thinking all of this and feeling terrible, knowing that the enemy was in my head trying to make me not like everything and to change and to go somewhere where I would be drowned out. And another thing that had really been playing on my mind this week was church membership. We have been here almost 3 years at this church and we have not become members. There are people that go to our church way less time than us that have become members, but we have not. We have taken almost all of the membership classes, save one, and we have been putting that one off. And it seems like something always gets in the way. I got really sick. The preacher got sick. The family got sick. Like all kinds of things to make it so I could not finish this last class. And this week, the enemy's been playing in my head like, you don't need to be a member. Why should you have to be a member? Why should you have to get up in front of these people and ask them if you can be part of their group? It just doesn't seem right. Why do you have to ask these people to be part of them when you've been going here for 3 years, so you should be anyways? Why? So I started watching YouTubes of like really solid preachers that I know of on their views on church membership. I was looking in this book, my fantastic Bible, trying to find a biblical basis on church membership, trying to convince myself that I don't need to do that. You'll just get tied down, you'll get trapped, you can't go somewhere else, and then you'll have to ask permission to be a member of another church if you decide to leave. What if the preacher leaves and you get this really terrible preacher in there and you don't want to go there anymore, but you're a member of this church, and just so many things. I've not been going to my women's Bible study on Monday nights, again, because of the grandchildren. And then I missed that third Sunday. So I was like, well, you don't really need to go to the women's group anyways. It doesn't matter if you go, they won't miss you if you're not there, which was not true. I went to church today, and two of the women in the group came up to me and gave me a hug. You know, I get these things in my head, and the enemy knows where to get me. Like, you're not missed. Nobody cares if you're there. Nobody will even notice. Go find somewhere bigger, somewhere better, somewhere that has more stuff, somewhere where you can get drowned out and nobody will pay attention to you, so that those things are true. They're not true now where I am, but the enemy's in my head trying to convince me to go somewhere where that could be true. If you're interested in a sourdough starter and how to take care of it, I suggest you stick around for the next video, because next week I will be showing you my sourdough starter, how it's gone from a small container to a large container, and now it has grown so much and matured that today I put it in the refrigerator. So if you would like to know how to start a sourdough starter, how to maintain and take care of it, I will get with you on that in the next video. Also, I am going to share with you how YouTube has changed my life. If you're interested in studying the Bible and Bible journaling and prayer journaling, I suggest you hop on over to Faithfully Bound. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope to see you next time. Bye, y'all.